Hi, my name is Peter Stevens. I'd like to explain a pattern that I've recognized in Scrum teams. I call it Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. What happens if one person in the team has got too much knowledge? Okay, so let's take a case. We've got a team, and the team has got 8 people. And one person, who I'm going to call Snow White, is brilliant. This person knows everything there is about the product and is super motivated and super productive. And then there's the rest of the team. Okay, and Snow White is so awesome that Snow White produces as much effort or as much results as the rest of the team put together. Okay, now one of the ways you might recognize a Snow White situation is Snow White doesn't see any reason to attend the meetings with the rest of the team. You'll also see that the rest of the team is always deferring to Snow White's opinion on what to do. The question is, what do you do about Snow White, and what happens to your team performance when you have that? And what I have found is that often the best thing, now first of all, some people say you got to get rid of Snow White. Snow White's an evil person. I have never seen an evil Snow White, but Snow White doesn't realize some of the secondary effects of their work. So if this person is really such a guru, what is perhaps a better thing to do is to promote Snow White to be like Chief of Special Projects and ask Snow White to be available as a consultant to the rest of the team, but then let the rest of the team work together as a team. And what usually happens is the team grows. Now, my own experience is that the typical result is the team grows by a factor of 3. Okay, and so if we do kind of a before and after, well, before Snow White was one person producing 7 points, and then you would have the 7 dwarfs, each producing 1 point. Gives you 7, total of 14 points. When you take away Snow White, instead of getting 7 times 1, you get 7 times 3 is equal to 21 points. So at one level, it looks like your team performance has increased by 50%. But from the point of view of the company, if you can use Snow White correctly, you get those 7 points someplace else. So you end up doubling the performance of your team just by having the right composition. Okay, so I call this pattern Snow White and the 7 dwarfs. Okay, and if you find that you have a Snow White in your team, as I say, probably the best thing to do, find something more appropriate for Snow White to do, watch your team grow.